Alright guys, what's going on? I'm back with another video, this time a little mini guide for Mr. Fantastic. He is super duper fun if you haven't played him yet. Absolutely love this character. His design is just great. I went ahead and got, the classic skin for him. I just kind of like it better, but that's just me. I'm going to go over a few little mini things, kind of maybe gameplay tips for like what you should be doing in a game as Mr. Fantastic, and maybe things you might not know about all his abilities. So let's just go ahead and get started. Number one, obviously everybody knows that he can drag his primary into other people. One thing I kind of thought when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, so people are gonna have their synths on max and just spin around as much as possible. I tried that on myself. I didn't really like it. I didn't think it was very useful because most of the time you're not going to have people behind you. It's more of like a waste of time, if anything. So it's kind of better to just be able to control who all you're hitting, which, most of the time you're going to want to be everybody. One quick thing I want to mention about his primary is that it doesn't go through people. I kind of thought it did at first. It doesn't. It's only side to side. So you have to hit people from the side. Oh yeah, whenever you get into his big form, you can also, I'll show you in a second, right? So first I want to mention how much his dash does. So it gives him 30 charge. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it gives him 30 charge whenever you hit somebody, right? So maybe that means it does 30 damage. I don't know, somebody can check that out, right? So 30 charge when you give shield, 30 charge whenever you hit an enemy, 30, right? And another move that I didn't 100% realize it gave charge was his grab, right? So when you grab somebody, you're also getting 30 charge. So maybe the play, go in, grab two people, and then do a big throw. You're at 90 charge already after the two jumps you have, and then just like one or two hits, and then you're back at you're in big mode now. So very useful. Just kind of a nice game plan to have for him is get in big mode as big as possible, or as soon as possible, right? When you're in big mode, you can actually drag your primary as well, which is super duper useful in big like clumps of enemies, and it does crazy damage. So just always keep that in mind to be dragging your primary around when you're in big mode, so you can be hitting multiple targets at once like that. So very useful. We're going to talk about his grab a bit more, right? So obviously in the trailer we saw you grab them there, and then you have another person and you slam them together. That was really fun. I don't think it is insanely useful though. I mean, it's good for kind of moving people around, I guess, but if I'm grabbing somebody and then another person, that's a 2v1 now, right? I just brought both of them to, they both, like, oh, this guy exists, let's fight him now. So that is not always a great idea. One thing I haven't seen a lot of people doing, I think is really cool with this character, is you can, if you grab the same person twice, it'll just throw them to you, like this. And then, now you're at 30 charge, you can dash into them if they try and run away, and now you're a big boy. And it's just bringing people to you, especially like if your team is with you also, it's always useful, right? Just displacing people, and you can kind of move them around and everything. So that was a very useful little trick there. Absolutely love it. This big old wide mode, whatever you want to call it, does it have a name? It's called Reflexive Rubber. Yeah, I'm going to call it wide mode, right? It has 300 health, and it will deal damage back based on how much it receives, right? So, this isn't going to be a lot of damage, obviously. But when this guy shoots me, boom, 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 and then I just shoot it back. And it'll do way more damage if I took way more damage, which I did not. But like, Iron Man ult, like they saw in the trailer, it'll, one shot, so very useful. Let's go ahead and talk about his passive with Invisible Woman, right? So I 100% of the time want to use this before engaging in a fight. Too many times I've kind of gone in and I've gotten low, and I've been like, oh, let me use my passive. It does not heal you enough to like actually like save you from anything. When you're going to be saved, you're pretty much always going to be wide mode. Even if you can't do a lot of damage back, you take no damage. So very useful. But kind of treat it like Iron Fist meditation, where you want to do it before you enter battle, so you have that overhealth, and you also have damage resistance, sort of like Wolverine's, his roar. So it's very, very useful in that sense, but don't use it to save yourself. And the very last thing I want to talk about is his ult. So the first, oh, what the heck just happened? Okay, anyways, so the first 2 slams are free. You don't have to hit anybody. But if you miss the third one, okay, well, I didn't miss the third one. I keep hitting people. If you miss the third one, it stops the ult, right? If you miss the third one, it won't keep going, so I'm not gonna hit anybody right here. Okay, cool. But if you hit the third one, it'll keep going, and then it will stop if you miss anyone after that, right? So you can get 6 total, but that's just how it works. It just keeps, it's almost like again, except you don't have to get kills, right? I missed one right there, right? So it didn't keep doing it, but that's basically how it works. So it's very useful. One other thing I just want to mention real quick, his little dash, it's pretty useful for hitting flyers. It does not knock them out of the air like maybe uppercuts or anything on other characters, but it is a pretty decent way maybe to get like a better vantage point, or to try and catch people who are hanging out on ledges, like stupid Moon Knights who just kind of like to spam from ledges. Oh, I'm gonna grab him, and then he's gonna die. So very, very useful. So that's pretty much Mr. Fantastic for you. He is a super duper solid character. He does a lot of damage. Absolutely love playing him. And just, get out there, try him for yourself, try these tips, just be fantastic.